recorded. You will get a copy of the recording, and it will be posted on our YouTube and our Facebook page after this. It takes about 30 minutes or so for that video to render, and it will be posted by the end of the day. So before we jump into surveys, and I'm going to show you how to make them as well, but I just want to ask you a quick question. I want to know how many of you are using surveys in your business? And I'm going to show these results to everyone once we get everyone voted through. We're about, most people are voted through, and it's fairly split, about 50-50. Some people do and some people don't. So you can actually see there that about 50% of you do and about 50% of you don't. I love surveys. I think surveys are a really effective tool for gauging where you're at with your potential customers. And I think that if we're not getting feedback on what we're doing, it's really hard to know what to do better. And it is really important. The thing I think about most when I think about surveys in real estate is those showing surveys, but I think also there's always an opportunity for open house surveys or after the transaction. We can be gaining feedback about the process and how to make it better. And the National Association of Realtors is collecting data. Zillow is collecting data. And so as real estate professionals, we should also be collecting data about our business. And just a few things before we jump into how do I make a survey. The first thing you're going to want to think about when you're making a survey is writing questions that are simple and to the point. You don't want to ask 8 questions in one survey question. Did you feel welcome at the open house? That is a pointed and direct question. Did you feel that you could contact your agent during any point during the transaction? That is a very direct question. It's only asking one question, and it's very clear what information you want to get out of asking that question. The second thing I want to talk about is keeping your survey short. So there is such a thing as survey fatigue. And most people who are taking time out of their day to answer your survey don't want to spend their whole day answering your survey. And so making sure that you're asking between 5 and 10 questions that are easy to answer and people can cruise through is very important so that you're getting valid results and complete survey results. The next slide is keeping your questions neutral. So it's really easy to ask leading questions and try to get the answers that you want to hear from your clients. Something like, would the bathroom be better if it was updated? That's a very leading question. A question that would be more neutral would be, please describe any improvements that you think would benefit the home. That's much less leading than something like, would the bathrooms update from would the owner benefit from an bathroom update? And the next thing we're going to talk about is making your questions optional to answer. I really agree with this because there are times that people maybe don't want to answer a question. Maybe it's too personal. Maybe they just don't want to give you the information. Maybe they've completed parts of the survey, but they just need to click through to get to the end. And it's better to make certain things optional and have them not have to answer than it is to force them to answer and get garbage results. Garbage in means garbage results. So making it something that they can opt into answering or opt out of answering is really important. And the last and most important thing is you should be proofreading your survey before you send it out. And the way that I do that is I would highly encourage you to do that is send it to yourself first and actually walk through taking the survey so that you know what it looks like, how it reads, and all of that side of things. So those are the top 5 things to think about when you are getting into and doing a survey. What I'm going to do now is share my screen with you, and I want you to be able to see how in IQ can you make a survey to send out to your clients. And I do want to make sure that you all feel comfortable asking any questions during this time. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in that chat box. So here on your main screen, where you're going to go to actually answer the surveys is underneath your marketing. And then there's a section at the bottom called My Surveys. We're actually going to create a survey today all the way through. So when you click on My Surveys, it's going to open up your main survey dashboard. And I can see that I've got some surveys in here. I'm in as an administrator user, so you as an agent would see surveys that your company created for you to use or that you'd created. And to create a new survey, you just click on the plus new button up here in the right-hand corner. And when you do that, the wizard opens up, and this wizard acts very similarly to all the other wizards in IQ Office. So this might be a buyer transaction surveys. And if you want to have an end date or time, so if you're sending out a survey that you need to get the results for before a certain day or time, you can enter an end date and time in there. If you leave it blank, the survey will never be unavailable to you. If you only want to get 100 responses, you can put that in this max response. Again, if you don't want to have a maximum response, you can leave that blank. The next section is multiple responses from the same computer, yes or no. That means if you're sending it out to a household, that they have to use separate computers to answer the survey. I always allow multiple responses from the same computer. It's going to be active. I would like a first reminder to go out after the first day, a second reminder to go out after the third day. And then what this box is what message do you want to be sent out upon the completion of your survey? So this text box works the same way that your content building text box do. So you can actually choose from the drop down. You can choose information from the agent. You can say, thank you for completing the survey. We appreciate your time. Have a great day. You can insert hyperlinks in here. So if you do a survey about, maybe you're doing a survey about people who are looking to sell their home. What are the top 5 things you look for when you're choosing an agent? Complete the survey here to get my PDF download. You could actually then go in and link your PDF download in here by inserting that link. So you can insert whatever you'd like to into that completion message. Again, this is the message that goes out after they complete their survey. Once I put in all the information, I'm going to click next and next again, and it's going to open the survey question wizard. So we're going to go through how to do each type of question today. There's a single line text option is the first choice from that drop down. So this means that the person completing the survey is going to have one single line to write in the text. And so this could be, have you ever purchased a home with before? They enter in single line text. Is it required? Yes or no. A validation rules means, hey, does this need to be letters and numbers? It's letters and numbers and spaces. Is it an email address or a phone number? So that's how you can validate information if you'd like to. And then I'm going to click next. And we're going to go ahead and add another survey question. So now the second kind of question that we can add is a multiple choice question. And so we're going to write the question of how would you rate the home search portal? And I'm going to say very good. And then when you push this plus button, it actually adds it into the default values. And I'm going to just talk quickly about why I'm choosing these results as my choices. So this is multiple choice one answer. That means they're going to be able to choose one of these. They loved it. They kind of liked it. They were neutral. They didn't really care. It was bad or it was very bad. You want to give people enough choices that they're not just picking one to pick it. If you want them to choose, it was either good or bad, all you have to do is leave this average out and you can actually subtract it out. And now they're going to say, it was good, it was great, we loved it, it was good, it was bad, it was very bad. But also notice that none of these really overlap. So it can't be bad and very bad. And you want to give them the option to make sure that you're forcing them to choose. If you want to add that average back in, you just would type it back in and click on it. And then you can actually click and move it up or down. So that's your answers in here. And then we're going to click next. And again, it's going to ask me, do nothing, I'm done, or add another survey question. And this question, we're going to do a multiple choice, multiple answers. And that means they can choose more than one. When searching for a home, which of the following were most important? As many as needed. I also like to give people answers or advice when it is multiple answers so they know they can select more than one, because as consumers, we all automatically default to I just choose one. So you might say garage space, bedrooms, kitchen, commute time, yard. So you can add as many choices as you would like in there. As you're adding choices, think about things that are going to help you market yourself as well. If you know that most people, if you're looking for like, okay, for most people, the most important things are commute times and yard, then I can start marketing to people what the commute time is and what the yard spaces look like. If you want to know about maybe resale value is one of the options you're putting in here, then you know how to talk to other potential consumers. So think about what information you're trying to gather and how you'll use this information when you're writing your question. Again, we're going to add another question. The next question we're going to do is a comment or essay box. Please share about your purchase process. It's a comment or essay box. You click next. And then the last one we're going to add, we're going to add a testimonial and a rating. So you can ask for a testimonial. Please give the agent a testimonial. And that's going to give them just a box to fill out, or you can do a rating. So you can say, rate the agent professionalism. It's a rating. It's automatically going to give them that rating star. You click next. And then once you've added all your questions, you're going to click do nothing, I'm done. And that's going to finish your survey. So now I can see my layout. Have you ever purchased a home before? How would you rate the search portal? If I want to move any of these questions, I can just drag and drop them and it will reorder the numbers for them. Underneath the recipients tab is where I can actually go in and add recipients to the survey. So I can add Contact types, I can say, hey, I want to add my favorite contacts to this, or I want to add my past buyers to this, and click finish, and it's going to add them in. You can also go in and add individual contacts if you would like. Now I can see that Jason, Tara, and John are all in here. And as they answer the survey, I will be able to see under the survey summary where all their answers are. So I'll be able to see what their responses are and what they look like. I'm going to show you a survey that I did so that you can see it. Just give me a second to get it up here. Sorry, I went to the wrong IQ. I've got a couple of them in here. So you can actually see what that looks like. So I can actually see here, I'm able to show my agents how to use Realistic Office. I can see what my results were. And so it really becomes a tool for you to gauge what's going on with your business. And again, to get to those surveys, we went to marketing. We went down to my surveys. We created a new survey and walked through the wizard. And then to get back to see the survey, you can just click on it and you can either go to the layout, you can add more questions if you'd like, you can add more recipients, you can see the summary or print it once you have results. You also can get a web link or an email link on the top of the screen. So if you want to link this to your website, you can actually embed it into a web page. You also could include it in an email by just copy and pasting this web address into an email. So if you want to just get a link, you can do that. On your details page, you're going to see the response statistics. So I can see that there are 3 that have been sent, there's 0 response, and there's 0 from clicking through. If you decide you don't want a survey anymore and you want to delete it, you can actually just go over to the actions button and click delete, and it will delete that survey out of your column. You can add surveys to action plans. So you can actually go in, and when you're creating an action plan, if you want to have a survey as part of one of those, you just choose send survey from that action plan. Again, you would choose from your surveys that you've created, and you're sending it to the contact lead or the agent, and you can say, and I want it to be due after 72 days. So first you have to go into your marketing and create all your content. We created it underneath my surveys, and then you can attach it to your action plan items here. Are there any questions on how to create a survey or why you would use a survey? I want to make sure that you're getting as much of this information out of this as you can, and you've been abnormally quiet today. Do you have any questions at all? Even if you don't have any questions, if you can type in the chat box, nope, no questions, that would be awesome, because then I know that there's no confusion. This is a short one today. As we get into the busier months, I'm going to do everything I can to keep these Monday mornings short so that you can get out into your actual work. There are not any, so Cindy, every company, your company can set up surveys for you that you can use company-wide, but there are not any surveys that are preset. Because some people, the questions that everybody likes to ask after closing are different. So I might want to know, how would you rate my customer service? Was the transaction smooth? Is there any additional information you need? But the company might want to know, how was it interacting with our staff? Was it easy to set up showings? So there aren't any that are preset in here. Did that answer your question, Cindy? All right, if there are no questions, I'm going to go ahead and log off and let this video start rendering. Yeah, no, and I understand about not reinventing the wheel. There's a lot of information. Yeah, so when to use it, or an embedded code, or use a link. So that's a great question, Mark. So you can actually post it to Facebook? Absolutely. So I can go to Facebook and I can say, hey, I actually want to share this survey that I did on my Facebook page. So I want to send out this survey to everyone that I want as a link. So I'm going to click the email link and I'm going to paste that on my Facebook page. This is going to give people the opportunity to click through to take the survey. Hey, doing a quick survey of who of my friends and family are real estate agents. You're going to use that email link because it is a link. The web link is the embedded code. So if I want to take this embedded code, and then I can actually paste it in an email. So I could go and actually do a saved content email, and I could paste it in there. So I go into the code box, I paste the code, click here to take the survey, is automatically comes up. The other place you could use it is in a blog. So you could actually go into your blog and you could embed that as well. And now there it could be that way as well. So if you're going to embed the code, you're going to go to the web link. That is the HTML web link. If you want someone to be able to just click on it, so on social media, you're going to get the email link. Did that answer your question, Mark? Awesome. Any other questions? We're just about 7 minutes before 8:30 this morning. If not, I'm going to go ahead and end this. Thank you all so much for joining me today. I hope you all have a great, great week, and we will talk to you soon. You're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome.